Okay, so let's start with this guy first. This is a mid-sagittal section here, so what we're seeing is the dural septas dividing the brain, and they fall into fissures. So we have the longitudinal fissure here, and then we have the transverse fissure, which separates the cerebrum from the cerebellum.
It's time to go.
What's going off now? The dura septum located in the longitudinal fissure collectively is called the falx cerebri, and within it, it has sinuses. The sinuses lie between the meningeal layer and the periosteal layer. So we have the superior sagittal sinus here, and then the inferior sagittal sinus right about here. Okay? The dura septum in the transverse fissure is called the tentorium cerebelli, and it contains this blue right here is the straight sinus. Okay? We have a dural septum that separates the left and right cerebellar halves, and we call that the falx cerebelli. What we can't see on this model is what we see on this model. So we have the occipital sinus right here, and that runs in the falx cerebelli. The transverse runs against the occipital lobe here, and that becomes the sigmoid. The sigmoid is S-shaped. I can't see what I'm doing. S-shaped, and then that'll all drain into the jugular foramen, which leads to the jugular vein. Okay? So that's all of your sinuses. Oh, the very last one I forgot is this guy right here. I'll try to turn it. This is the cavernous sinus. Cavernous sinus. Okay? And that's right on the sphenoid bone. Lies against the sphenoid bone. That should be all of them.
And the diaphragm?
Oh, the diaphragm is celli. The dura mater that covers the sella turcica. So in the sella turcica of the sphenoid bone sits the pituitary gland and the hypophyseal fossa. And dura mater covers this to protect the pituitary gland. So when the dura mater here covers the pineal gland, or I keep saying the pineal gland, pituitary gland, that's called the diaphragm of celli. It's covering the sella turcica, diaphragm of celli. Okay? Oh yeah, so on this model, we're going to call this a choroid plexus. And that's the pineal gland. Usually when you're looking at a choroid plexus, it's going to be blue with a little bit of red in it, showing the mixture between the sinuses, the CSF,